to some, I guess not even good news, but the presser wasn't live streamed. And at first I go, maybe this is an attempt because of the blunder that happened on Monday. But I don't think it was live streamed last Wednesday either. So I don't think there's a correlation to what from Monday.
No, there isn't. Again, I don't know why they don't live stream Wednesdays. Because usually you that's when the depth chart and injury stuff comes out, so it makes sense to do it. But no, they usually don't live stream the Wednesday ones. I can't remember if they did it last year or not. It's obviously been over a year, so I just don't remember that stuff. But they didn't do it last week, and they didn't do it this week either. So nothing to be panicking
Panicked
over
about.
or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, no live stream, and then they don't live stream the players either.
Okay, yeah, the players we never really got anyways. So he apologized about the basement, which we kind of already alluded to. That's kind of done and over with. What were, I guess, let's just go over the big takeaways. I know the depth chart DJ is starting. There is no Khalil Jackson on the depth chart, but he wasn't on the injury report, which is Slackman, Devin Moore, Asa Turner. Those guys are not playing. The injury is not disclosed, right? But they're at least on the injury report. Khalil Jackson is just MIA.
So there's no actual injury report. Like traditionally, when Florida would release the depth chart, there would be a little injury report right underneath it. There's none for the second week in a row. I imagine that's going to change with the SEC's new rules with SEC games. They have to have what they call a participation report. And so that's pretty much the same as an injury report, just different wording. But since it's Stanford, there's no official one this week, but we did get updates. Obviously, Mertz is not playing because of his concussion. He has been through the protocol all week, did not practice at all this week. Napier said that as far as, because he was asked about Saturday's availability. I see Mama Parker's comment. Thanks, Mom. As far as Mertz's availability, he said that it's still TBD technically, but he's only ever had, I believe it was one player who didn't practice the entire week and still managed to play. And because it's a concussion and who they're playing, no reason to start him whatsoever. Play DJ, see how it goes. Asa Turner's no surprise as well. He went down in the third quarter. I believe it was like the first or second play coming out of the locker room. He went down with a leg injury. And then Devin Moore, Napier's already talked about too, where he had a shoulder injury. Everyone saw him get taken out of the game against Miami. So no big surprises there. The big ones were Sharif Denson not on the depth chart and Joey Slackman. Napier said both would be out, but he expects both of them back shortly. And then we did not get an update on Khalil Jackson. I don't think anyone asked about Khalil Jackson anyways, just because we get the depth chart right as Billy's walking up to the podium. So we only have so much time to look at the depth chart and ask questions and then look back down and ask questions and tweet out quotes and everything like that. So sometimes we just don't have enough time to ask about all that. But yeah,
It's football season, which means it's time for you to start winning with your favorite players on and off the field. And with Prize Picks, you can do that. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. And what's special about this time of year right now is that one Caleb Williams passing yard gets you one win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right, only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September 4. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss this deal on Prize Picks because it's gone when September ends. So you select Caleb Williams to have more than 0.5 passing yards. Gotta get one, and you have a W. We're already halfway there. Now, some of you only need to pick 2, but I want to go 4 because when you can now win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. So Caleb Williams is going to be my first selection to have more than 0.5 passing yards, then Travis Hunter to have more than 79.5 yards, and then more Jackson Arnold to have 265 point yards, more than that in this week coming up. Big time weekend for football. Be sure to download the Prize Pick app today and use the code Hightop and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code Hightop on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win. Receive $50. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. Now back to the show.
I imagine since Khalil Jackson's not on the depth chart, that's the same thing too. It's an injury, and then he will not be playing. But I don't want to confirm anything just because I don't know. But I imagine it's the same as Denson and Slackman.
So, again, we didn't get to see him, and I always try to get like a tempo or a temperature of how it feels. and obviously it's been a hell of a couple of days for Billy and Co and the staff. Were there any two-part question? How did he feel? How was his energy? And were there any pressing questions, or were they kind of softball questions and just basic, how'd this look, how'd that look? From what you sent me, it didn't seem like anybody kind of asked any, like, hey, what's up? Questions, which I know we can't ask him like I would.
The issue with that too is you kind of, I know it's our duty to ask him questions, but Billy's always never been the type of person to really show fire with quotes. And when he does show fire, he talks about basements in Central Florida. So you get pretty much the same quotes, but I mean, also the big thing with today is the Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway, who is going to be the quarterback. He's fielded a bunch of questions already about how you move on from a game like that, dealing from adversity. First question right off the bat was about the basement. So, you kind of those were the two big things that I wanted to know about going into today was, hey, what was the deal with the basement question or the basement answer? And then who's going to be the starting quarterback? And, he answered both. It is, he's already talked about the adversity, the outside noise, what they have to do better. And so, I mean, I think in their eyes, it's Sanford week. You move on from it. I know everyone's still annoyed and upset and wants to get more, but you only get what he puts out. And he showed some emotion and everyone flipped out. And I think rightfully so. To give Billy benefit of the doubt, I definitely don't think he meant the basement quote as anything offensive or targeted, but the timing of it was extremely poor. Like I think
I
For
everyone
sure.
can agree.
I was
Um,
personally offended. I was really offended.
yeah, but yeah, there weren't any heavy hitters. Just because I think some of those were already asked on Saturday and on Monday, and today was, hey, you dropped this big quote that makes national headlines. What's your reaction to it? And then obviously, hey, who's going to be your starting quarterback? Are we going to see the 5-star get to play, or did Mertz have some miraculous comeback from a concussion? He's ready to go, and he answered both tonight.